Hey everyone, it's your Lita stuck inside in a snowstorm. Yay! Woohoo! So that's always fun. Um, so this is like take 5,000 of this podcast. I tried yesterday several times. And I just had to leave it because it was not a good situation. There's a lot of technical difficulties. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. So, this topic is a hard one for me to do, and I had it all planned out. But I'm just gonna sit here and ramble like I always do. I'm gonna try and keep it on track and good. But if I go off the rails, just bear with me. So, um, I wanted to talk about first, like, accepting yourself and going through changes and changing your mind and then changing your mind again. And I'm 28 and I've probably changed my mind more than anybody that I've ever met. And I feel like I'm not an expert by any means, but I feel like that's a sign of maturity in a way. Like, you can change your mind and be okay with your decisions. Yeah, sometimes you may second guess the fact that you did something, but in the end, it may be the best decision that you could have made for yourself. So, I just kind of want to give you a little background as to why I'm doing this podcast and just get my feelings out there, and hopefully you guys resonate with this. So, like I said, this is a bit of a hard topic, so I don't know how long I'm going to be talking for. So, buckle in and let's get comfy. So, let's start off with growing up. So, growing up, I had a very ideal childhood up until like 12-ish. That's when things really started shifting. I would go and do team sports. I would go hang out with friends. I would be getting my independence, aka my set of wheels that I have. Just going on family trips with Make-A-Wish. Just a lot of fun, memorable times in my life. And just being a kid. And then it kind of switched up when I was 12. And my family dynamic, basically, my parents separated and got divorced. Let's just put it point blank, period. So they separated got divorced, like pretty much divorced. They're not divorced, but they pretty much got divorced. So they weren't together, and so that was a really hard time in my life. But that's not the main point of this broadcast. The main point that I want to drive home with you guys is that everybody has a little bit of rainbow in them. You just gotta wait for the right time for it to expose itself. And I waited a long time. I waited until I was like 27 to really solidify those feelings. And yeah, I'm only 28 right now, so it's only been a year and a bit, but so I feel like I kind of have like a fresh take on it. So I kind of wanted to like tell you about like teen years and how I dealt with that. So let's backtrack to like high school years. So like grade 9, actually this whole time period, from like I'd say 10 to like 16, I was like boy crazy. I was your typical like human being, like straight, whatever. Like I identify as straight. And then like I don't know, something happened. Like I was like looking around me. I was like, oh, that person's cute. Like, and they didn't have a specific gender. Like, yeah, I'm more into women, but I'll get into that. So they didn't really have a specific gender. So I didn't really know what that meant at the time. So I just carried on with like the monotony of life. And I did like all the sports, all the things. I did sleepovers. I was kind of like a chameleon with my friends. Like I would conform to what they wanted me to be. I would mold myself into the MJ that everybody knew and loved. And I now look back on that and I kind of cringe. And I still do that every once in a while. I'm just like, ew, this is not right. This is not who you are. So I kind of just want to put it out there as like a cautionary tale. Like, just if you have a twinge of doubt, if you have like a twinge of a feeling inside, run with it. Do what you gotta do with it. Like, make the mistakes in your teen years. Like, it might end up flourishing, and it might end up, the plant might die. So you might not feel those feelings when you enter into adulthood. But you never know. All you gotta do is try and go with it. That's what your teen years are all about. You try, you mess up, you have experiences, you learn from them, you grow, and if the feelings stick, then you're at where I'm at right now. So well, you're at where I was when I was 27. So, I, from 18 to 23, that was like my very first relationship. It was probably the best relationship that I have been in ever, aside from my most recent. It was the best. Like, yeah, we had little, now that I look back on it, we had little, like, cat fights here and there. We were never abusive. We were very loving towards each other. Like, there was nothing bad to say about that. And then that ended, not because we wanted it to, but because I had decided on a weird whim. If you know me, I'm not on a whim kind of person, but I did that, and I moved, and so they thought that it would be a better solution to break up and go our separate ways. And we are still great friends to this day. So, yeah. So that just proves that you can be friends with your exes. Like, we talk every day. It's crazy. So I did a year on my own, in my own apartment, just doing my thing, day in, day out, like, not really having a purpose. And then, I just got this overwhelming sense of, like, sadness, and, like, they call it disassociating. So I would literally sit there for 8 hours and just be on my phone and my computer and, like, not talk to people for months on end. I'm not even exaggerating to you guys, like, months. And it was just bad. And then, like, 2015, I reconnected with an old flame. And so we started talking. And it was around the new year, like 2015. And we started talking, and, like, kind of like friends at first, whatever, like, it wasn't really anything serious. And then things went along as they do, and it ended up being serious. Let's just put it at that. And then logically, the next step was to take the long distance and shove it to the curb, basically, and live together. So I wrote a letter and I basically stated my case, and I moved in about 8 months later, so I was in my old place for like a year and a half, a year and 3 months, and then I moved here, and things got pretty serious pretty quick. We were kind of inseparable. We were living literally on top of each other. There was no room. Like, we were living a pretty good life. Like, yeah, we had our ups and downs, and that's ultimately what broke us. We had way more downs than ups, but that's just par for the course. So basically, like, we were doing good for a while, and then, okay, basically, this person put a ring on it. So I ultimately thought, okay, I'm gonna be married, and everything is gonna come to fruition, and I'm just gonna ignore all the feelings. Okay, the feelings are gone. Like, the feelings that I had as a kid they were just a phase. And so I carried on, and I was like, okay, let's start the wedding process. Let's do this thing. And then it just got to a point where I think we were just moving too quickly, too fast. Like, we were trying to make stuff happen when it wasn't right at all. So all the good stuff that had happened kind of got overshadowed by all the bad stuff. So we ended up calling it quits, and then getting back together a couple times. You know how it goes when you can't let go of an ex. And then we finally officially ended it in the fall of 2017. And that was all well and good. Like, I wouldn't say it was whatever, because I spent like most of my time trying to like figure out who I was, and like, that was the biggest thing for me, like, because I had never been without somebody for 10 years at this point. Like, I was like the worst serial dater. Like, I was constantly in a relationship. So yeah, all that stuff happened, and basically 2 months after that, I met someone online, and then we started dating, and they were the best human being ever. Like, I will never say a bad word about her. Like, that was when I knew my feelings were genuine. That's when I knew that my childhood was not just in vain. Like, my childhood feelings were not just fake. They were real. But we just had different lifestyles. We had different viewpoints on life, and I wish her all the best. And we just had a lot of problems that none of us could, like, we couldn't fix it for each other. We had to be on our own to fix it. And so that relationship ended. Also, I almost got engaged. Like, I was engaged to her. So that made it 10 times harder. Like, I thought that I met the person of my dreams. I thought that I was, like, done. And I thought this was going to be the real deal. And it turned out that we weren't the right puzzle pieces for each other. So that happened. And then now I'm happy-ish single. I'm just trying to find who I am and let people know my truth. And I learned a bunch of stuff being in relationships for 10 years, and I just wanted to share all that with you guys. Like, I wanted to let you guys know that, like, if you're going through that breakup, or if you're going through, like, whether you don't know if they're gonna break up with you first, or whatever the case may be, like, just in the end, you have to be authentically, truly you and no one else. Because in the end, I know all the podcasters and bloggers and YouTubers all say that, like, you have to be authentically you before you can be with another human being. And that is my goal. That is, like, self-discovery at its finest. Like, I want to be myself, and I want to be somebody that somebody else will want to date eventually. But I want to be okay with dating myself. I want to be okay with doing trips on my own. I want to be okay with, like, and you should be okay with it. You should be able to, like, do things on your own, like with friends. It doesn't have to be completely solo. Like, you can do it with your friends. You can go on, like, a cruise, or you can, like, just chill out, play board games. You can do whatever you feel is best at the time that you're listening to this. Um, you can just be who you need to be for you, and somebody will come along eventually. And if they don't, then you can just carry on with your life and YOLO. Like, just, you only got one life. So, the top thing that I've learned is you have to be okay with being on your own. The next is you have to make spaces for friends that you don't necessarily know. Like if you're new in the town that you're in and you constantly had your ex's friends as your friends, you just gotta build a friend group. Number 3, just be okay being alone for a bit. Like, find your inner happy. Find who you choose to be. Like if you choose to, like, be in your jammies and, like, dance around your apartment one night, then you do you. Like, you just go for it. Do it. And that authentic will ooze out of you when the universe is ready for you to end up with another human being. And like I just heard on another podcast, you have to be 100% comfortable in your own skin. Maybe for me, 75, because I will never be 100% comfortable in my skin. Just because wheelchair kind of, like, knocks you down a couple pegs. Like, at least for me, like, yeah, I'm comfortable and confident, but you have your off days. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother broadcast. But you have to be 100% you and 100% yourself and comfortable. And then the other person has to be 100% comfortable and confident and very communicative about what they need and what they want. And you guys just have to communicate. You have to see, you don't have to see eye to eye on everything, but you have to make compromises and maybe tweak a couple things that are little things. If you really do care about this person, like, they can be dumb little things, like pick up after yourself, or like put the toilet seat down, or like, that stupid stuff. But I just wanted to end this with saying, like, love yourself in your own skin and bring out your inner rainbow. And I also wanted to end this with a little brief description of my identification, like what I identify as, because people in my real life, and people like who I interact with always ask me what what I identify as is. So basically for me, the easiest way to explain it is it's hearts, not parts. It's the human that lives inside of the body. Like, I don't look on the outside. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, ooh, that person's cute. Like, damn. But I, like, majority of the time, I'm like, okay, this person's got a great personality. I'm gonna, like, talk to them and connect with them on a deeper level. So it's not bi, it's pan. Like, I go for anyone. I go for transgender people. I go for whatever your identifier is. Like, I go for those people. I go for anybody basically that is not straight or strictly into men. That would just not work. So yeah, that's my identifier. That's kind of my story. I hope you guys enjoyed. And remember, bring out your inner rainbow always. Ability Warriors leader, signing off for now. And I will talk to you next Sunday. Alright. Love you all, and remember to be yourself and trust yourself, trust your gut. No matter how young or old you may be, like, there's always time to come out. There's always, you're never too young or old to come out and be your authentic self. Alright, talk to you guys later. I'll see you in the next broadcast. Peace out.